All right. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. We're talking Knicks, audio only, because I just don't care anymore to really set up the video and everything. It's too much work, too much time spent setting up on a team that just, not worth your time. So we're going to talk about their loss last night against the Suns. Their latest loss, I should say, 106-99. So bringing us back to 1999 with that score. The season is officially spiraling, or in danger of spiraling, if you want to be optimistic. You got multiple bodies going down every fucking week now. This team is playing their worst stretch of basketball, maybe since they've started winning again in the 2020s. They have now lost 8 out of 10. They've lost 3 in a row, and they are slipping daily in the East. They are way closer to being a play-in than they are the 1 seed, which was the expectation heading into this miserable season. So it's just been very underwhelming with the injuries and the underachieving. We are now halfway through the year. Halfway through, we are not winning nearly enough games. They have now a winning percentage in the 500s. So it's 590 something. That's not going to cut it for a team that was expected to be the favorite coming into the season. But again, I'm no longer angry. I am just bored. I'm disinterested, and I'm just going with the flow here. I watched this game at a bar last night, like a casual Knicks fan. I did. But I did watch it back when I got home since I have a disease. But there was some good, some bad still to take from this game. Obviously, the Knicks without Brunson with the ankle sprain. Now you got to worry about Josh Hart. If he's okay, did he come back too soon? But I liked the effort level. I liked some of the physicality, the intensity at the point of attack I thought was there. But I do want to start with what I didn't like. And that was, it was a theme that continues to be a theme with this core this last year and a half. That's the lack of attention to detail defensively. Just unattentive or inattentive. Just whether it's just not matching up in transition or getting beat in high coverage off pick and roll because you're not making the proper rotations in the back, or over helping off the corners and the wings. I guess I should start with the over helping. I've been saying this for years now. If you're gonna send help, be sure to actually bring help. Like, the worst spot to be in defensively, in an age where everybody can run 5 out, or where most guys, if not all guys on the floor, can shoot the ball, the worst spot to be in is no man's land. When you're helping off of a 3-point shooter, but you're at the same time not helping strong enough to deter the primary action. You don't want to do that in this game, not in this league. And against a team like the Phoenix Suns, who are a very, very capable team of beating help defense, you especially don't want to do that. And I have down here on my notes, this is just the makes, not even including the takes that didn't drop or some of the whistles. But I have jotted down here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different possessions throughout this game where the Knicks got burnt in help. Dillon Brooks knocks down a 3 in the middle of the first quarter. Now, Mo Diawara is a rookie. He's still learning. But he sends useless help off the top with 2 Knicks already surrounding Gillespie on his drive. So Gillespie makes that read, and he sprays to an open Dillon Brooks on the wing. Diawara is nowhere to be seen. The next time down, Booker knocks down a 3. Deuce was supposed to guard him. They run like a double drag. They get the offensive rebound. The Suns do. Deuce crashes with 50 bodies already in front of him and at the basket. No shot he was getting a rebound. O'Neal grabs the offensive rebound for the Suns. Kicks it out to Booker for a wing three. Deuce helping off. A few minutes later in the first quarter, Dunn knocks down a three. Yabusele not there. Booker drives on OG. With OG still decently in front of him, Yabu helps and he stunts off the strong corner. Booker hits Dunn for a corner. Yabu's late to recover. I understand that it's Dunn. He's not a good shooter. You can afford to help off him, but OG was doing fine. Didn't need help there. You don't have to help off the strong corner. This wasn't a peel switch situation. Just thought it was a dumb possession. Get to the second quarter. Goodwin knocks down a three at the top of the period. Clarkson was supposed to guard him. It's not his fault because Tyler Kolek was underneath the basket. He lost his man Gillespie, who was on the corner. Kolek's under the basket, loses him. So now Clarkson's forced to rotate down from the wing to the corner. It's a driving kick. Gillespie makes a swing to Goodwin for an open three. So it's a kick to the corner. Corner kicks to the wing. Corner swings to the wing. And they were burnt. Go to the third quarter. Early in the period, Mark Williams throws down a dunk. Diawara is supposed to guard him. OG was over-aggressive on his closeout to Gillespie. So Diawara now has to send help off of his man from underneath the basket to Gillespie's drive on the baseline. Because he does that, Williams is wide for a dunk. Late in the period, third quarter, Goodwin knocks down another three. This time it's Shamet. You got Mikal Bridges doing a fine job staying in front of his man on Allen on his drive. He stays in front of him pretty well. Shamet sends gap help off the strong wing. It's Goodwin on the strong wing. Allen kicks to Goodwin for an open three. Did not need to send help. 2 possessions later, you get another Grayson Allen three. This time it's Clarkson's fault. Stupidity from Clarkson. Mitchell Robinson gets switched onto Booker up top. So Clarkson helps off the strong corner for no reason, but he doesn't send help. He's in no man's land. So Booker goes to Allen for a three. Just stupidity. Because even if Mitch gets caught behind there, it's Mitch. He's long enough. He has wingspan to be able to make a rear contest block. And the Knicks had 3 bodies all near the basket or under the basket behind Mitch, ready and help. Just, it's like, again, against a team like Phoenix, who are the best in this league at beating help with the three-point shot, you cannot be sending help this aggressively. They do the opposite of what the Knicks like to do. Maybe not the opposite, but like the Knicks, you know how the Knicks are, when the Knicks are in their spray 3 game, they're touching the paint and getting those spray outs, they usually wait for the help to fully develop and the defense to fully collapse to hit the wings and the corners. But Phoenix, the second they see you stunting off or helping off, the second they see that foot pick up and inch toward the paint and pinch, that's when they make their read. You can't do that against that team. I also thought the Knicks were getting burnt, of course, as usual, in the pick and roll. Just sending a lot of blitzing. It's a lot of blitzing. Just for one game, I would love to see it. I've been asking for this for 2 years now. We're going on 2 years. I would love to see the Knicks switch everything for 48 minutes. 1 to 5. Just switch everything. Every action. Send no help off those switches. And just see how it works. Because the number of times this year that they have blitzed, hedged, or just been in high coverage and then we're beat in the back because of that. It's insane. It's countless. Again, I have some possessions here on my notes I want to go over. The very top of the first quarter, it's Devin Booker's first basket. Mikal gets caught on the top of the ball screen. I just switch it with Cat. Switch it. Now, Mikal was better at the point of attack. We'll get to that later, but since when has he been good at navigating ball screens? We didn't learn that from last year. It's been happening every night under Mike Brown. It's okay to switch that. Live with the mismatch. Because you get caught, and now you're leaving an open man. Another play early in the first quarter, Mark Williams short roll dunk. It's a Booker-Williams empty pick and roll. Cat and Diawara blitz it. Williams is now open in the pocket off the slip for a dunk. If the Knicks switch it underneath, they switch it and stay under, you're staying in front. You won't get beat on the short roll. You have the advantage. But instead, they don't. Instead, they blitz it and they're behind. Deuce McBride, I thought had some rough possessions. As great as he was last night, got caught on a couple of rescreens. One of them to end the second quarter, it's a Grayson Allen three. It starts, though, with a Booker Iguodala pick and roll. Cat switches on, but Deuce tries fighting over the rescreen, so now it basically turns into a blitz. So Iguodala's wide open on the short roll. Now Clarkson's forced to tag off the corner. As weak side low man, he's got to pick up the roll. He tags. Now his man's wide open for a weak side wing three. Knocks it down. I feel like you go back to the top of that play. If Deuce and Cat would have just switched it from the jump, that doesn't happen. Another one, top of the third. Gillespie knocks down a three. It's a Gillespie-Williams empty pick and roll. Deuce gets caught on the rescreen again with Cat in a friggin' drop. So Gillespie's able to get an easy pull-up three. I feel like if you watch that play back, it's top third quarter. Gillespie knocks down a three. If you watch it back, if the Knicks switch the first screen there before he flips it, there's no room for a three-point shot. There was no airspace. Last one here I want to go over. Middle of the third. This was to end the Knicks' big 16-0 run that they had. Iguodala gets a transition dunk. You got Goodwin taking the ball up the right wing in transition. Cat doesn't see Booker, who's back screening him off. He's in the middle back screening. Cat doesn't see it. OG's behind him. So Iguodala is going to slip off that back screen into an open roll for a free basket. Goodwin hits him. Now, watching this back, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like OG should have probably switched it there with Cat in front and unaware. But a rough possession in transition to end. That was kind of the end of the Knicks. They never recovered after that 16-0 run ended. So, for the most part, I know they only gave up 106. Didn't love the defense. Now, again, there were moments, especially in the first half, but there were moments throughout the game where I did think the Knicks matched the Suns' physicality at the point of attack. I thought Mikal Bridges did do a better job, for the most part, getting over the top of ball screens. Really good first quarter from Mikal. And that's important that he gets over the ball screens like that, because it means if he can get over like that and get skinny and fight through them, the Knicks don't always have to be at the level. They don't have to be in coverage as much and blitz as much and hedge and then end up getting beat behind. You don't have to deal with Cat's poor technique when he's in coverage up high, when he's fouling a lot. You don't have to deal with Brunson's, bad hedges and getting beat in rotation in the back or getting beat on the short roll when you blitz or when you hedge. You don't have to deal with all that if Mikal's getting over the top. So to me, this whole thing unlocks with your wing stop. OG's not been OG, and Mikal needs to be Mikal. It all comes down to Mikal Bridges' physicality, because that hampers this team so much. You just need him to be a point of attack threat, but he's just not that guy the Knicks felt they were getting. Better last night. Need to see that sustain. Needs to maintain that physicality. What else? I don't know. The best Knick among the first unit last night, Deuce McBride. He's now got 10 game balls on the season. Deuce had a good night. Back-to-back 20-plus point games. Let me pull up his box score really quickly so I can read off it. 1 second here. Deuce McBride last night across 36 minutes. 23 points, 5 assists, couple of steals, 9 for 18 shooting, 5 for 12 from deep. So, guy drops 23 on 18 shots. Didn't need a single free throw. The shot's awesome. We know about that. I'm going to continue to say it. I've been advocating it for years now. Deuce McBride should always be in that starting lineup, healthy or not. Because he brings shooting, because he brings point of attack defense. Perfect example of that was 2-1. Late second quarter, he gets a key steal. Coming from behind on Mark Williams, picks his pocket. Has the ball coast to coast, pulls back. Transition 3, knocks it down. So, he is a point of attack threat on a defense that lacks that. And the offensive stuff, right? Forget the box score. Not talking about, he doesn't need to start because he's dropping 20 a night. No, he needs to start because his gravity alone, as a floor spacer, it will get Cat and Brunson the correct switches, the correct matchups, and it will open up driving lanes when Deuce is out there in a 5-out lineup. It makes the entire difference of a world. Listen, this Knicks defense, it's never going to be great. But the idea is that it can at least, you hope it can become slightly above average, and that's a problem itself. But the idea is that your offense would be so elite that it carries the load for you. And that's why the Knicks have been losing lately. It's because they've been getting the bad defense that we all expect, but the offense has not been top-notch. Which is the problem of this team. Unless they're dropping 130 on you, they're going to lose. But we're getting a very similar trend to what we saw last season, where the offense is falling off a cliff. And it fell off a cliff, I believe, right around January last year as well. Since the new year. That's 9 games, I believe. The Knicks are 22nd in offense. That's nowhere near good enough in an age where offense wins championships. Cat is having a down year. That's a big part of that. But that's also why playing Deuce McBride, the minutes that he's been playing lately in these 5-out lineups, that's why it matters. Because Cat, listen, it's been a career-long problem for him where he's just not a high-volume three-point shooter. I understand that part's been frustrating, but he's always been an elite shooter. And this season, because the shot's not falling, it's only 36%, I believe, this year, his confidence is gone. Before last night, where he took 8, that was nice to see. But before last night, in Cat's last 23 games, he was averaging 3.9 three-point attempts a night. Not close to enough for a guy who's supposed to be the best shooting big of all time. He's passing up way too many. Now, there are some factors to it where it's just not Deuce. Like, he misses Josh Hart, believe it or not. As much as we talk about the frustrations when they're paired together, Josh Hart, when they're playing full court and they don't let the defense set up in the half court, when they're pushing and Hart's on the ball, he gets those trail threes generated for Cat in transition. But, the Knicks like to play in the half court, and that's why I think Cat needs to spend a lot more time with Deuce and in these 5-out lineups, because when he's in those rotations, he gets much better looks. If Deuce is out there with shooters, those Cat pick and pops are not always going to be a switch. Whereas if Cat has the wing on him, That's going to be an auto switch. They're going to take away the three. And if Deuce is out there, Deuce does a nice job screening for Cat in transition. He does that a lot. Helps him get those trail threes up. You actually saw, I think it was in the middle of the third quarter last night. Deuce takes the ball up the left wing. Cat's the trailer. He has a small matched up on him in transition. I think it's Grayson Allen. Cat receives a little pitch from Deuce, pulls off of it, knocks down a trail three. You need more of that, where he's shooting over smalls on the perimeter. That's why having a big who could shoot is so lethal, because if you draw a big to the perimeter, he can get that downhill attack. But if you draw a small to the perimeter, you could shoot right over. It's funny because when Cat took that shot, Clyde Frazier right away critiqued it. Like, see what I mean? That's not a good, like, just this super old school mindset from like 50 years ago back when he played. But like, Cat has made a living off these shots, and he needs to take more of them. So that's my whole spiel there. Going to the bench, Mitchell Robinson was the best among the second unit. Again, some of this is just process of elimination. Kolek wasn't good. Clarkson was a fucking nightmare. Yabu did some good, but Mitchell Robinson was far and away the best guy in the second unit last night. 8 game balls. Now on the season. In 19 minutes, he grabbed 10 more rebounds. Of course, 5 of them offensive rebounds. Had a couple assists and a blocked shot. Continues to just be a beast on the offensive glass. He's been one of the fewer bright spots during this period. And it's good to see the defense improve a little bit, especially on his switches. The mobility seems to be returning. Hopefully that's something he can maintain. But, yeah, good for Mitch, right? Do I have anything else I want to add? Let's take a look at my notes here. No, just a little some tidbits here. Again, I wrote down here, the Clarkson minutes were a little egregious. Could have used some more Shamet. I would honestly take Kevin McCullough at this point. Kind of halted that run Mike Brown did in that third quarter. OG continues to be aggressive offensively, I wrote down. He continues to get buckets off the dribble, on the post, on the drive. That's nice to see without Brunson right now. You hope that can maintain when he's back. It's hard to find the balance, but... And then some rough, turnovers with Cat. We talk about this a lot. When Cat's on the post, you prefer him to be in face-up as opposed to post-up, so he can see the help coming. Or if he is in post-up with his back to the basket, you prefer the entry from the non-shooter so you can see the help coming from the top. It helps you deal with those turnovers or deal with that help defense to avoid those turnovers. But yeah, I really don't want to talk about this team much, man. It's unfortunate. I don't know how long this is going to continue, but it's starting to get to a point where you really you're worrying. You do worry about this team. I love the Knicks, and I think they are gonna start winning again. But just like we talked about with the Yankees, bad stretches come back to haunt you. The Knicks are trying to get a top 2 seed. Well, we're gonna look back at the month of January, however long this ends up being, and be like, yeah, they had a real shot there to just be average, but they were egregious during this cold stretch, and that's why they're, the 4 seed or whatever. So, yeah, I have nothing else to add. Appreciate you all tuning in. That's it. We're going to head to a break, get back, wrap it up with our trivia question. We'll be back in a sec.
Quick break here, guys. Stay connected with BD4 on social media. Follow us on Instagram and X at BD4Pod, and find us on Facebook by searching BD4. Don't miss out. Join the conversation. Want more BD4? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and never miss an episode. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and share with your fellow fans. Don't forget to ring that bell so you're always the first to know when a new video drops. Love BD4 but don't have the time to sit down and watch? Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify so you never miss an episode. And if you're enjoying the show, leave us a 5-star rating and a quick review. It helps us grow and keeps the conversation going.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Let's wrap this up with our trivia question, and our trivia for this episode is: after losing 2 in a row to the Suns, the Knicks now have a record below 500 against the Suns. Is that true or false? True or false? After losing 2 in a row to the Suns, the Knicks now have a below 500 record against the Suns all time. So let me know the answer wherever you can reach me. If you get the answer correct, I'll give you a shout out on the next show. Folks, that's it. I'm out of here. Hopefully this team picks it up. Can't say I have much confidence, but we'll see. Hey guys, thank you for listening to BD4. Be sure to follow us on social media, subscribe to us on YouTube, and give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. We'll see you next time.